Death Grips is back with their first debut album on Epic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, first debut album on Epic, the Money Store. And, after the last, and even now, a lot of people are asking us to review it. We reviewed the last project, so deservedly so, we definitely, going to check out this one. So let's go ahead and kick things off. FIFA, what you think of the album?
For me, personally, this one was better than Exmilitary. I could definitely get through this one. It was easier on the ears. It wasn't as abrasive or, like really, really, really hard like that. But it's definitely something that I won't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Just like Exmilitary is not something I'm just gonna throw this shit on and ride to it. But you know what? One track did definitely stand out to me, and I was like, you know what? I actually like this one. And I think it's called "I Seen Footage." Like I'm bad with names, and I was like, I'm gonna remember this one because this one actually stood out to me. And I was like, damn, this is
yelling.
Huh?
He's yelling it. You should remember it. He's yelling at your ass.
But this album was closer to the side of hip hop than it was more experimental. I feel than Exmilitary was. Exmilitary was way left, and they brought it back some. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, for Death Grips, like I said, I can't say I like this, but I liked it better than Exmilitary. So I don't even know if I can say I can fuck with it. I can't fuck with it like that. But I like I Seen Footage, and that's about it, and it doesn't bump in my way. No.
You didn't like the first track?
I don't know, because you know what? On this one, they almost had me. On certain tracks, I'm like, okay, I could kind of, what's the name of that first one? Get God. Yeah, Get God.
That's what I'm saying. Like that
I kind of liked it, but it's just like, it's just too far for me. It's too far for me to just co-sign it. You know what I'm saying? I can't co-sign it. The only one I could co-sign is I Seen Footage. But outside of that, I can't fuck with it. It's just.
So how does? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Asking, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So how's I Seen Footage different from the first one?
I don't know. Just personally, I just like that one. You know what I'm saying? Because it almost sounded like almost poppy almost. You know what I'm saying? It had a real.
Catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy. It's I don't know, man. I just like that track. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that I was gravitated to. The rest, everything else, there was, like I said, there was other tracks like the first one. I think, another one toward the end. And then another thing I noticed, the songs aren't that long. They're like 2 minutes, 2:48, 2:50.
Is that a problem?
Oh no, that's definitely not a problem.
Get it over with.
But yeah, man, I can't fuck with Death Grips like that. But I do like I Seen Footage. That's as much as I can.
Oh man, shit. Unlike FIFO, I don't fuck with this album at all. No.
That's my motherfucking thing.
That was hilarious.
I'm just saying, like.
He's so honest. That's why this shit is so funny to me.
Yeah, I'm being brutally honest. It was like when I, heard this project was coming out, I was like, I was actually interested just to see where they was going from Exmilitary. And man, when I started playing this shit, I was like, oh shit, here we go. You could call me a hip hop traditionalist, because I guess that's what I don't feel nothing when I'm listening to this. It's just, for me, it's nothing but noise. You know what I'm saying? Like, just completely. I can't understand half of the stuff that he's saying on the album. So I can't get a feel for it. It's like,
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
I get exactly what you're saying.
Like, when I hear it, I'm like, how can I just pop this on and be like, I just like vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't even recite the lyrics.
I can't even recite the lyrics. Nothing. Or like, it's just like, oh my God. And I'm like, what the hell is he saying, man? Like, I know the Death Grip fans gonna come at me, man, but no, I'm serious, man. I'm dead serious. Like, and then when I'm in, like, I'm like speechless, because I was like, I cannot believe. The only, you know what? I can say the good thing about this project, that it was only 13 tracks long and each song was like 2 minutes. That was the good thing I can say about this project, man. Because I even listened to it twice in a row, man. I was like, let me listen to it again, because I just want to see what's all the hoopla about Death Grips and why people want us to review this so much. But like I said, call me a traditional hip hop listener, because I want to hear, rhymes, a nice dope beat. You know what I'm saying? This is just too wild for me. This is too wicked for me. You know what I'm saying? I can't get with this at all. This when I got finished listening to this, I was about to text y'all like, I cannot believe y'all had me sit here and listen to this shit, man. Like, I just can't get with this, man. I'm sorry. I cannot get with this. This is just, I just cannot get with this, man. This Death Grips is fucking crazy. It seems like it's rock heavy or something for me, man. I don't get into rock like that or whatever. So it's too aggressive. I would never listen after this project. I would never listen to a Death Grips project no more. I'm not even interested.
So even if we want to album review it, you said fuck it.
No, I mean
If
they make another project and we say we're gonna review it, then I'm gonna have to listen to it. But like just outside of that, I'm not looking forward to hearing nothing else that they make. So that's all I have to say.
I could talk about this album all day.
Go ahead.
This shit. This is so far probably my favorite of 2012. I was a little bit worried at the first track because I was like, okay, I think they're toning it down a little bit. Then that second track hit, Fever. Shit. That shit is so goddamn good, man.
What's so good about it? No, I really want to know. Like, I want to hear.
Okay, so really, like, Fibo hit it dead on when he said, you know, he didn't hit it dead on, but I understand what he was saying when he said, oh, it's not as experimental and this is easier for the ears. It is just as experimental, but what they did was they took elements from different genres again. So it's like the first album, they were taking more industrial sounds and more of the harder, guitar sounds. This time, there's elements of fucking weird funk. There's still elements of industrial, a lot of elements of industrial, but it's just not as abrasive. But the MC this time, like I can understand why you can't understand what he's saying, but you should really like just sit down and listen to his or like read his lyrics because everything then makes sense. Shit. But I mean, again, I don't expect any of y'all to like this album. I don't at all. But if you really analyze what's going on, it's like MC Ride. What he's doing is he's putting himself in as a character, and he's trying to be as violent and as crazy. There's all these things about him just being paranoid. Like when you listen to like Fever, clearly that's what he's talking about, But when you really dig deep, when you get to I Seen Footage, I think everything really starts to make sense because then it's like, okay, now I understand why he's so fucked up. Read his lyrics, like I seen footage, I seen fucked up shit. And these fucked up things made me think fucked up shit, and now I'm putting fucked up shit on an album. Like I think this shit is fucking genius, man. I think this album is fucking genius. But I completely understand why none of y'all.
But should you have to go read the lyrics though to be able to?
Yeah, you do because even being a fucking a huge fan of theirs. And even being, a death metal fan, like, yeah, you have to read the lyrics so you can understand what's going on. And once you do read the lyrics, it's like the songs then start to make a little bit more sense. But, at first I thought that, yeah, they're changing their sound up, they're toning it down because they're on Epic, but then I was completely fucking wrong. By the time I listened to the second time, I got it.
But I'm saying, like, it's music. Why should you have to go read the lyrics?
No, not to understand the music, but to understand the songs themselves, right? Reading the lyrics is not going to make you like the sound of the album, but it might make you understand why they're doing the shit that they're doing. Because he is trying to portray a fucked up character that is manic, what did he say? I can't remember the lyrics now. He's talking about burning Bibles, call me a cab, take me to the nearest city. Like he's telling you guys like this is a fucked up character, and you cannot put those lyrics over fucking Static Select the Beats. You can't put MC Ride over fucking Primo. This shit fucking fits perfectly. So I could literally talk about this album all day long because I think it's fucking genius.
So I listened to the shit like 6 or 7 times in a row because I really was trying to understand what's going on, even with the music, with the production, with the lyrics. I really wanted to. Because, I have my issues with Exmilitary, as far as its placement in hip-hop. This one definitely had more of a hip-hop, sound to it for me. So that's why, when I was thinking about this review, that, for me, that conversation is mute. There's no need to even have that discussion. Yeah, and it's definitely way catchier, than some of the other stuff that they put out. It kind of puts me in, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Culture Shock, because that was one of the songs from Exmilitary that I liked. But yeah, I mean, it definitely has an older kind of hip hop sound with the beat a little bit, maybe like maybe something like that. So it was definitely a way more accessible. So when I heard that track, it was like, okay, because when I put it on the website, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can listen to this track, just like probably everybody else here, because it is more accessible, it's more listenable to us, since we really don't listen to stuff that far out. So I totally agree with Mike when you say you have to kind of read the lyrics, because the lyrics, I actually put the lyrics on that particular post and I read through the lyrics and I was like, okay, now that I can actually understand a little bit about what they're saying or what they're talking about, whatever message they're trying to convey, it makes sense. That doesn't make it seem like I'm gonna go rant and rave and say, yo, you guys gotta go check this shit out, or, I'm not gonna say that I'm a Death Grips fan. I'm loving Death Grips by any means necessary, but I think this album for me is a little bit more listenable than Exmilitary. And I think maybe them being on Epic may have had something to do with it. I don't know.
I kind of disagree with you about them changing up because they're on Epic. I think they would have done this anyway, because I thought that at first too when I first listened to it. Because again, I thought that they were changing up the sound and they were toning it down some, but I don't think it's what they did. I think it's like I kind of wanted this album to be Exmilitary on 10, but when I first listened to the album, it wasn't that. So I was like, oh man, I still love this, but I don't love it as much. But then after like the third or fourth listen, like I said, I finally got it, and I'm like, nah, dude, they did what they could do with that certain sound. Now they want to pull from other areas. It just so happened that those other areas happen to be a little bit more listenable to the average listener. There's still, the beats are still sporadic. The beats are still fucking disjointed as hell. MC Rod is he obviously not yelling as much. But again, when you get the fucking album cover, did y'all see the album cover?
Yeah.
Obviously, they ain't trying to be friendly with nobody.
Yeah.
And again, when you listen to the lyrics where he's talking about cutting motherfuckers up and, like I said, lycanthropic, manic cycles, fire, water, burning Bibles, like that shit is not, it's not accessible to the average person.
I'm with you. I wish they would have taken Exmilitary and put it on 10.
Why?
Just because, I think because of all of the discussion, everything that's surrounding Death Grips and how you saying, we need stuff like this and how hip hop needs to be challenged, on this level, for them to have that major signing and to have a major backing behind them, I think that would have opened that discussion up a little bit more.
You don't think this will? This album is clearly as weird as the other one. It's just not as abrasive. That's the only difference.
Well, I think I probably, if they're gonna do something like that, it is what you said, but I think I would maybe have preferred for it to be a little bit more abrasive, just because they have more of a major backing behind them now.
But then that means that you're saying that every time it should be more aggressive, more aggressive?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that,
with this one.
Yeah, with this one. Keep if everybody keeps saying that they're challenging the boundaries, they are, but it's not as abrasive. I think, I would have liked to seen that a little bit more with this album. Because, I think, for the most part, yeah, it does seem toned down, to me.
But that dude, man, I love his fucking lyrics, man. I think he's still a fucked up human being. But that's why I think, again, I think that's why I've Seen Footage is such an important song for this group. And I really hope that, I know B is just done, but if you're even interested, I really hope that you would just read the lyrics for I've Seen Footage. He's seeing all this fucked up shit, it sticks in his head, it fucks his head up, and then, it affects everything else that he sees. That's how I took it, at least. Like, when you read the lyrics to that, it just makes so much sense in the span of the album to me now. It's like everything, even with Exmilitary, it makes so much sense of what he's trying to do now. To me, it clicks. But again, I can see why you guys don't like it. It totally makes sense. And I won't try to argue, is this hip hop, or y'all are not open-minded. I'm not even gonna say all that shit. I'm just saying that if you like this kind of music, if you like experimental hip hop, like even shit that LP did back in the day, and shit that Soul did back in the day. You know, that shit was not necessarily abrasive, but it was still challenging the boundaries of hip hop. So I mean, I think you can still push the boundaries as far as you need to without it being abrasive. You know, and I think I mentioned this on the last review, but I think it might have got cut out. But you know, if you like Death Grips, you should really go listen to this album by Techno Animal, which was the guy from Godflesh, and this other guy, Kevin something, I can't remember his name. But when you put the Techno Animal album on, the most recent one, it came out like 2001, and you put on this Death Grips album, it's so fucking similar. Like, I guarantee that those dudes were listening to Techno Animal. But this kind of boundary, I think, needs to be pushed as far as possible. But it doesn't have to be abrasive. It can be more listenable. I don't know, man. I'll just